what we did here is that usually clinical trials nowadays use amyloid-β for enrichment, amyloid-β positivity for enrichment. And on this work, we try to assess whether in anti-tau trials, clinical trials targeting tau pathology, if it would be useful to also use the APOEE4 status, APOEE4 carriership, as an enrichment strategy, as well as amyloid-β positivity. So our question was, if compared to using amyloid-β positivity alone, if using both APOEE4 carriership and amyloid-β positivity would be this strategy of using both would provide benefits for clinical trials to identify individuals at risk for short-term tau tangle accumulation. So tau accumulation in the typical the clinical trials timeframes. And what we observe is that actually compared to using only amyloid-β positivity, the use of both APOEE4 and amyloid-β positivity was able to reduce the sample size needed for clinical trials testing a 25% reduction in tau PET SUVR, was able to reduce in 64% the sample size needed for these trials. So this was a very surprising result for us. We conducted this study in the McGill TRIAD cohort. We studied only cognitively impaired individuals. So it ended up being, we studied 29 amyloid-β positive cognitively impaired individuals from the McGill TRIAD cohort. And we also want to validate if this result replicate in other cohorts we are already looking for. I think this will be our next step in this work, to see if this result will be replicable in other cohorts as well. And also it would be very interesting to see if this result is replicable using also other tau PET tracers, because we know that different a bit from amyloid, that the tracers are very similar. For tau, we have very different tau PET tracers. So in this study, we used MK tau PET, and we would like to use, for example, floor tau CPR that is very commonly used. It's used widely, so it would be interesting to see if we can find the same results using using other measures of tau pathology, such as plasma p-tau as well, or even perhaps CSF p-tau would be very interesting.